Andre the Giant, how amazing genetics makes life impossible.
Andre the Giant's size gave him everything.
The largest and highest paid and best known wrestler in the entire world.
Once being listed by the Guinness Book of Records as the highest paid wrestler ever. These same genetics, however, made his life a living hell, with Andre famously stating, "I would give much money to be able to spend 1 day per week as a man of regular size." When he was born,
At what height does life become impeding? That didn't even make sense as a fucking question. Like, at what height do you have to reach for life to be harder than if you were 2 inches shorter? I think like above 6'6". I think if you're 6'5", you're still athletically the same, and physically you could still fit through doorways, and like, you know, most stores have your size shoe and shit like that. Anything 6'6" and above is where it's like you're hitting your head on a fucking doorway. You have to get custom shoes. You have to get custom pants, suits. Like, you can't fucking shop at regular stores. 6'6", it's pretty difficult for me. Yeah. I think you're right on the edge, though, where like there's still some things that aren't a problem for you. I think anything 7 foot and above, life just starts getting annoying. Like, even sitting on a toilet. That's like immediately what I'm thinking. Or standing in a shower, like where you're above the shower head. You know what I mean? Like, that's bad. Where this is the shower head and then your whole head's above it. So you have to go like, to like wash your fucking hair. Getting in cars. Yeah, shit like that. But he's already fucking huge. Andre the Giant, I mean, he's dead now, rip in the chat, but Andre the Giant was like 7'2", and what, like 500 pounds? He was big. He was bigger than the Big Show. When did he die? 1993. He died at 46. He was 7'4". Dude, 520 pounds is nuts. Like, that would, like, if he sat in a car, the car would like lean whatever way he was sitting.
18 pounds or 6 whole kilos, which is almost double the average male baby, weighing 3.3 kilos or 7.5 pounds. Growing up, Andre played soccer, with his childhood friends stating he used to be the goalie, but the ball would never go in because he was so big. By the age of 12, Andre was 6'3" and 240 pounds.
Oh my God, bro. He's like fucking college wrestler size at 12.
Pounds or 108 kilos.
240? 240?
Going to school, I was bigger than other kids.
He was too big to fit on the local school bus, and his family didn't have the money to buy a car that could deal with his weight. As a result, Andre left school to work on a farm, where one day a friend of the farm's owner drove slowly past the field in a Rolls Royce. "I will own such a car as that someday," Andre said quietly. "Stop dreaming and start raking," his father replied. "You are a big boy, but that dream is too big even for you."
I said to my dad, someday I could get a car.
I would just get into fighting, man. Or the NBA. Do you think he would have been good in the NBA? I feel like he's too blocky. Yo, he probably could have been crazy, though. You think he's too big? I think he's too big, like, muscle-wise. Like, I feel like most 7-foot plus guys in the NBA are very lanky. NFL? Yeah, he probably could have been nuts in the NFL. Oh, my God.
Quit dreaming and keep walking.
According to his brother, Andre did the farm work of 3 different men and would drive an unregistered car as the cops wouldn't dare to stop him. When he tried to join the military,
Andre was deemed unfit for service as there were no shoes.
Andre was deemed unfit because he was too big. Also, yeah, he is a target, bro. Fuck. I think that's, 7'4"? My God.
Shoes big enough, bunks long enough, or trenches
This is a moving target.
deep enough to accommodate him.
Yet these same issues made him a wrestling sensation. He'd officially become Andre the Giant, a famous televised wrestler.
You think he could, like, crush somebody's skull by just going like that? Maybe not a full-grown man, but, like, somebody with, like, a smaller head, he could probably just go, and just break it. He's not Thanos. See, now you're going to have me Googling a very crazy question. How much pressure is needed to crush a human skull? 520 pounds of force. 2 arms. Andre the Giant, 2 hands around your head, he could go like that and snap your skull.
His own parents didn't recognize him when he came back home.
My parents, they was a big fan of me, you know, they saw me on TV, but they don't know.
Your parents were a fan and they didn't know it was you?
No, because I changed my name.
At over 7 foot tall and
Well, they didn't recognize their kid.
500 pounds or 227 kilos, Andre saw a doctor to figure out why he'd grown so much. Acromegaly was the diagnosis, a rare 1 in 12,000 brain tumor causing the body to produce excessive growth hormone.
1 in 12,000 doesn't seem that rare, though. Am I wrong? Because there's not that many 7-foot tall people in the world. 1 in 12,000 seems like there would be way more. Yeah, that's not that rare. 1 in 12,000 would mean that, like, somebody in your town has this.
Leads to extra large hands, feet, and fingers, as well
Dude, like, him holding a regular beer can like that.
as a bigger jaw, nose, lips, and tongue. According to Ripley's Believe It or Not, his fingers were so big around that the ring he wore had an opening that could easily fit a silver dollar, which is 38.1 mil. To put the size into perspective, the average man's finger is around 10 to 11 mil around.
All right, chat, say it. Chat, say it. This is what you guys do every time we watch a video about people that have, like, big hands. Oh, I bet his wife likes him. Oh, he only needs 1 finger.
This could be seen in interviews like this.
This is his ring, and I kid you not, I can get all 3 fingers in that ring.
With people on Reddit adding, favorite fact is that Andre was so large, he could push a hard-boiled egg through his...
Yo, that's such a random thing to test. That's just such a good size comparison, though. He can fit a hard-boiled egg in his ring. That makes it make sense in my head.
Wedding ring. My wife met him once and instead of a handshake, she said she could only shake one of his fingers. These
Wow.
elements made him so unique that when doctors offered to remove his tumor, Andre bluntly refused.
That he didn't want treatment at that time because he thought it would interfere with his career as a wrestler.
It stated, if this is the size that God wanted me to be, I'm going to be this size.
I use what I God
Well, I mean, if they got rid of the tumor, wouldn't he have stayed the same size and just not grown?
give me. I'm not supernatural, I just myself. So what God give me, I use it to make a living.
However, this gave him a short life expectancy.
The commissioned doctors at Madison Square Garden told me he's going to be lucky to live to be 40.
And meant he'd keep on growing until the day he'd die. By the time he'd joined the WWE, Andre had reached 7'4", peaking at 560 pounds or 225 kilos.
Dude, how much do you think he had to eat every day for him to be able to grow to be that size? Because even if he has the brain tumor, which causing him to grow, he has to just eat sheer amounts of food. I remember hearing stories about him drinking like a 30 rack, like before an event. And they would go out, like him and Hulk Hogan would go out after an event and he would drink like 4 bottles of wine with dinner. And he wouldn't even be drunk.
What size boot is that, Andre?
It's 22, size 22.
Take a look at that along my size 9.
This made him the most successful wrestler ever.
Without a doubt, Andre was the most famous wrestler in the world.
Yet it also continued to make his life harder.
It's difficult everywhere I go. They don't build anything for big people. They build everything for blind people, for crippled people, for some other people, but not for big people.
Andre was constantly visiting new cities.
The nature of your job, you're traveling all the time, aren't you?
Oh my God. Bro, he doesn't look real. Holy shit. That's him, like, chat. If we were just sitting in that chair, like, you would, like, look how small that guy looks next to him. Like, he genuinely looks like, I feel like I'm watching, like, Lord of the Rings right now. And I'm seeing, like, an actual giant.
Aren't you? Like 320 nights a year.
Yes.
Which came with its own set of challenges.
Hotel beds, are they a problem?
I try to find a hotel where they got a king-size bed. The worst is when I go in Japan, all those cars are so small.
Sure.
Even in a hotel, I can go through the door, I can go to the bathroom, everything is...
Oh my God. Do you think he would break a toilet if he sat on it? Like, do you think he has to get special toilets? That shouldn't be on him, though. Like, if he goes to a hotel and sits on a hotel toilet and it breaks, like, that's not his fault. Plug for the sub.
Andre was too large to fit inside most cars.
When I'm traveling with a car, I need 2 cars.
That's right. You can't even get in it.
There is nowhere for the giant to live anymore.
Yeah, that's true. Well, you can put 1 car in each foot.
Taking a taxi wasn't a better alternative.
Funny story, one time we couldn't get a taxi because he was so big.
And when they finally got one, Andre was charged extra.
We ask him how much he is, and we see the counter. He charges double. So you're a big guy, you have to pay double.
It seems that flying was Andre.
And then that's where he choke slams the taxi driver into his own steering wheel and just gets out of the car without paying. You trying to con a big guy out of money is like the dumbest death sentence you're ever giving yourself. You're telling me you're a taxi driver and you're going to fucking charge Andre the Giant double? Oh, let's see about that. And he just fucking crushes your skull.
Andre's only option, where he'd have to book the entire exit row. However, thankfully, he was able to...
There's a lot of people that have to do that, though. At airplanes, like... just big guys, even like World Strong, like Brian Shaw and Eddie Hall have to book 2 seats
to fix this problem.
What about plane travel? Does that get old after a while? Awful?
I go in first class, but I don't really mind with it.
Despite this costing an absolute fortune,
I'm traveling so much. Last year I bought for $67,000 just an airplane ticket.
there was still another even bigger flying problem. Andre couldn't fit inside the toilet. He therefore had to relieve himself prior to boarding.
Andre would always time it. So
Wait! If he had to go on a long flight, he had to hold his piss the entire time. Oh my God. Like flying LA to Japan? Oh, cooked. Piss bottle? Where's he gonna pee? Is he gonna go in the back and piss in a fucking Gatorade bottle? Oh my God. Stop.
So that he would take a dump before, he went to the airport.
But in one notable instance, he forgot to go beforehand.
Yeah.
He's up in first class.
I'd probably go up to the flight attendants and be like, I'm too big to fit in the bathroom. Give me a water bottle.
And he tells them, I gotta go. And they're like, oh my God, what are we gonna do? What are we gonna do?
The onboard solution wasn't exactly glamorous.
He would relieve himself into a bucket and then they bring it in and dump it into the toilet.
But in retrospect, the story's pretty funny.
Like pee in a bucket or poop in a bucket?
Toilet.
But in retrospect, the story's pretty funny.
Peeing in a bucket ain't no problem, dude.
Smell that started coming out. There was people falling out of their seats almost into the aisles, puking, crying, screaming.
Sadly, this didn't...
Some pussy ass mother... You're telling me you smell a little shit and you start crying, you vomit, and then faint on a plane? Yeah, there's no way, bro. Yeah, you smell a little pee and you get overwhelmed. Do you ever take a dump in a porta potty?
Only apply to play.
Somebody started screaming. Ah! Ah! They're just fucking freaking out.
Where does he shit?
In the bathtub.
No.
Yeah, there's no toilet gonna take his ass.
And with monumental bells came monumental farts.
It's so...
Damn, shitting in a bathtub, but the poop wouldn't go down the drain.
Sounded like, like a deep roar, kind of like thing. It would rumble.
On the set of Princess Bride, this actually halted production.
He lets out the most monumental fart. The whole plywood set was shaking, and the sound guy lifted his headphones off his ears and was doing that, and it went on for, somebody timed it was 16 seconds.
While Andre's former wrestling opponents thought the wind lasted even longer.
And I could feel my fucking shoulder just vibrate like...
There's no way his farts made people's bodies vibrate. How much air you would need to be able to, force that to happen?
Well, a giant can fart. How long? About 40 seconds.
Andre was...
No, not 40 fucking seconds. No way. You think? I think it was long. I think that has to be a little bit exaggerated. 40 seconds seems crazy. 15, 20 seconds makes more sense.
So different to everybody else, it got to the point of public ridicule. Hulk Hogan explained when we'd walk through the airports, if he got ahead of me, I'd hear all the unkind things that people would say. Oh my God, look at that guy. It would just break my heart.
They perceived him as a freak of nature, and that hurt Andre more than anything. This guy was very sensitive. Boss, sometimes they laugh at me, they point at me. It hurts my feelings.
I don't know. I think that older people can be mean. I think kids would think he's cool. I think that might have made him feel a little bit better. If I was 5 and I saw Andre the Giant at an airport, kids are meaner. Kids are just brutally honest and stupid. But I think if I was 5 and I saw Andre the Giant, I'd be like, whoa. Whoa. And I'd start asking him 45 questions. I would just be like, so, like, do you use a regular toothbrush? Do you get, like, one of the big ones the dentist shows you how to brush your teeth with?
But he would cry.
Andre stated in an interview, I would give much money to be able to spend 1 day per week as a man of regular size. I would shop and I would go to the cinema and drive around in a sports car and walk down Fifth Avenue and stare at the other people for a change. Disguising himself in public simply wasn't possible.
Muhammad Ali could put on a trench coat and a ball cap. Andre the Giant couldn't hide in the backseat of a car.
Instead opting to numb himself completely.
He never, ever, ever quit drinking. He drank from the time he got up to the time he went to bed. If he could figure out a way, he'd just done it in his sleep.
While Andre's drinking feats are often highly romanticized, there's no denying he had a serious problem.
He started drinking about 9 o'clock in the morning. He drank like, I'm not exaggerating, like 20 bottles of new Beaujolais.
Doing so to cope with his difficult life.
Wow.
He drank because he was in pain. His spine and his neck and his knees gave him a lot of trouble.
He'd drink 6 bottles of wine before every wrestling match.
6 bottles of wine. Bro, that would kill me. That would kill the average person. You would die of alcohol poisoning. 6 bottles of wine, and then he goes and works.
With Jake the Snake explaining that Andre once drank 48 beers in a single car trip.
He drank 2 cases of beer and did not have to piss. How can you do that?
This was nothing compared to a different night.
Is it true that you, in one sitting, drank 117 beers?
Yes.
Were you drunk?
117 beers in one sitting? How much liquid is that? Say they're 12-ounce beers. 12 times 117 is 1,404. How many ounces in a gallon? 128. In one night, he drank 10 gallons of beer. I can't put my mind to that. I'm understanding it. Like, you could get 10 milk jugs and fill them with beer. But the fact that he was able to down... Like, my body would explode off of the sheer liquid that is.
Drunk at the end of that?
Dude, he probably pisses an entire gallon when he went to the bathroom.
I don't remember. I think I passed out.
With Andre's unofficial record being 156 beers in one sitting, which fellow wrestlers Dusty Rhodes and Michael Hayes confirmed. However, this only added extra weight onto his body.
I myself saw him almost every night drink 7,000 calories worth of alcohol.
Which seemed to be the primary motive for why he eventually quit.
But you don't drink anymore?
Not since 14 months ago I quit.
You feel better for not drinking?
Yeah, because when I was drinking beer, I used to weigh 560 pounds.
And you've trimmed down now to?
Well, now I'm 470.
This led to the...
Wow, so him stopping drinking made him lose 560 to 470. He lost 90 pounds.
Infamous Andre the Giant vs. Hulk Hogan, after which his career
was... How big is Hulk Hogan? Because Hulk Hogan is a big-ass guy, too.
This led to the...
In comparison... Because they're almost I don't want to say they're almost the same height. Hulk Hogan's got to be, what, 6'8", 6'5"? He's not 6'5". Hulk Hogan's a big dude, too. Hulk Hogan's 6'7".
Infamous Andre the Giant vs. Hulk Hogan, after which his career was basically over. When he next came to a match, Andre was using crutches, showing the decline of his physical health. He'd retired to a ranch in North Carolina until he flew back to France for his father's funeral. He'd take this photo after the ceremony without realizing that 3 days later, Andre himself would die of a heart attack.
I'd like to announce the death of one of my favorite wrestlers and one of the most famous wrestlers of all time. He died this week in Paris, France, after going home to his father's funeral.
His body was too large to fit in any French crematorium, and as a result, he was shipped back to the USA. His ashes weighed 17 pounds or almost 8 kilos, being just another reason he's remembered as a legend.
Wow. 17 pounds of ashes. And they couldn't fucking cremate his body because he wouldn't fit. I feel like crematoriums have big-ass vats, though. I'm kind of surprised they couldn't fit his body in a crematorium. Maybe it's just based off of the fact that you're never really going to get a guy that's 7'4". Maybe even it's not even the problem that he was 7'4". He just weighed a lot. That was a crazy video, though. All right, lock in.